Okie dokie, schmokey. Are there any significant differences? Differences right there. Bing, 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 bing. Trigger word. That means you're either going to be looking at a t-test or one of the ANOVA family. So any significant differences in anxiety scores, that's a DV right off the bat, between the male and female professors, staff, maintenance workers, IT techs, and the administrators at Alliant International University. You did not see that typo. Okay. Variable time. So a continuous variable are anxiety scores, right? Let's just pretend they range from 1 to 100 or 0 to 100. So that is a continuous variable. Continuous variable. Now I am seeing a couple of grouping variables. One has to be gender, right? Because we've got male and female. So that is one categorical IV. That's a nominal IV. But then we have a second one. That is like profession or job type. That has professors, staff, maintenance workers, IT techs, and administrators. So that's a second IV with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different levels. All right, so we're dealing with two nominal variables. One is gender, the other one is job type. And then we got one DV, anxiety scores. So, let's go over that again. We have two nominal variables, gender and job type. We have one DV, anxiety scores. We want to see if there's a significant difference in those scores somewhere based on gender and based on job type and any kind of interaction between the two. I hope that was a big hint. But that means the test that you would have to use would be a factorial ANOVA. So factorial ANOVA is really a blanket term. That's just a fancy word for an ANOVA that has more than one either categorical variable or more than one repeated measure. So another way to think of this is it's also called a two-way ANOVA. The two-way means you got two nominal variables with two different grouping variables in there. Another way to call it, you could call it a 2x5 ANOVA, right? The 2 is the levels of gender, your first IV, and 5 is the levels of job type, your second IV. And you can still get a little bit more precise here. You could call it a 2x5 ANOVA with no repeated measures. I've seen that a lot here. And you could also call it a 2x5 factorial ANOVA with no repeated measures. It just goes on and on and on. But this is basically a factorial ANOVA, a two-way ANOVA, or a 2x5 ANOVA with no repeated measures. Hope that helps. MGZ out.